Hello, my butterfly beauties, and welcome if you are new. My name is Charlen, and on this channel, we discuss everything BFL, beauty, fragrance, and lifestyle. So if you like my style, why don't you subscribe and you stay a while. In today's video, we are doing an Ulta haul. Ulta has been doing a sale in conjunction with the Sephora savings event. They've been doing their own 40% off sale and weekly deals. They got one that just ended. Then I took advantage of some of the items during that week. And that's the items I'm going to share with you today. And they currently have a 40% off sale going on that ends the November the 11th. And then they have another week of beauty steals that they're going to be doing. So make sure you're checking out the Ulta site. You know, their reward system is just a tad bit better. So, but 40% off is a good deal if it's items that you have been looking at or been wondering about. So with that being said, let's get started. All right, so let me go over a couple of things first with you because so currently right now, and I'll pop it up on the screen, it says online only, ends November 11th, up to 40% off 150 plus online deal for 4 days. So they're having this 4-day sale that they have going on. That's 40% off select items. So it's not the whole store. Then they also had a code that you can use for $10 off of 50, $15 off of 75, or $20 off 100. So yes. And they also, with the code gifts, so put in the code gifts to get that off. And that code ends on November the 12th, so an extra day. So it's an extra day past the 40% off sale. But they're calling it their early Black Friday holiday sales is what they got going on. But that one ends on November the 11th. That code ends on November the 12th. But then they got deals going on. So they got current deals going on, like 30% off select fragrances. Some of the makeup items has 40% off, but it's select items, you guys. So you need to check the site to see if it's something that you're interested in or something that you've been eyeballing. And then they're going to have another one for this coming up week of the weekly steals. So make sure that you're checking out Ulta site between now and Black Friday, because they're going to pop up these little deals of things that you can go ahead and get up to 40 or so % off, which is a good deal if it's something that you have been looking for. With that being said, let's go over some of the items that I went ahead and already picked up from last week when they was having some of the different sales going on. I'm going to start off with my hair products that I decided to pick up. You guys, I have been testing different types of gels in my hair. I am like a 4A, 4B, and then in some areas of my head, I have 4C curl pattern in my hair, right? So it's hard for me to find a good gel that is not going to have my hair looking too poofy, because my hair will grow. And I love it. I love the volume, but I don't always want that look. So sometimes I want my curls to lay themselves down a little more better, have my curls be a little bit more defined. So with that being said, one of the ones that I've used for a long time was the Eco Styler Gel. So this Eco Styler Gel, the olive oil, they've changed this packaging I don't know how many times, but this one has max hold on it. This one here, my hair does very well. It does very well at defining my curls with this one. So I got my tried and true back in my collection. I've been trying different ones, and I like different ones, but some of them don't give me what I'm looking for. So with that being said, I wanted to put that one back in my collection, so I'll have that on hand. As I'm continually trying other things. If it don't work, I still got one that I know does work. So one of the brands I wanted to try I've heard mixed things about mixed chicks. So I wanted to try this leave-in conditioner. This is a big daddy. This thing is a 1 liter, 33 fluid ounce leave-in conditioner. And it has a long list there of who it says it's for. But pretty much it's for everybody and their mama work some texture or curls in their hair. To make it short. And it says it's supposed to moisturize, control frizz, and define curls. Is what it says on here. So I'm going to give it a go. We're going to see if I like this one. I like the fact that it comes in this big size, because sometimes with the items, the brands that have the multicultural type hair products, they tend to make them in small size. And you know, if you got this type of hair, it's thick. I don't care what nobody says. The majority of them is thick. So that product doesn't go a long way. You might get 1 or 2 uses out of it and then you're done and you have to repurchase. So I appreciate the fact that they put this in a bigger size. With that being said, I have never tried this before. So this is going to be me trying it for the first time. So we're going to see what I think about this. I only want to try the leave-in conditioner first, and then we'll go from there. If I like this, I may decide to try some of the other stuff that they carry. Another brand that I wanted to try out was this Camille Rose. So I got several of their things because they had them on sale at a good deal. So this brand is typically more expensive, so I never got it before. And this is another thing where the packaging wasn't always that big, but this one looks bigger than I remember them being. But this is Sweet Ginger Cleansing Rinse, Castor and Anise Seed Oil. It says an enlivening hair cleanser with natural notes of sweet ginger and lemon peel. So I'm going to try this Camille Rose brand, and I will report back. If you guys want to see me do a wash and go or anything like that as far as how I do my hair, drop it down in the comments below. That's videos I used to love watching, especially when I first started letting my hair go from a permed state, when I was putting a chemical perm in my hair, to when I started letting it go be natural. So one of the things that I did is I went from that permed state where I used to perm my hair with a chemical perm to straighten it. I had that done ever since I was a kid. Never knew what my actual texture of my hair looked like. Because from a very young age, I used to get it straightened with a hot comb, where they press your hair with a hot comb straight. And then I went from that to getting a perm, and I'll do a whole story on that if you guys want me to. But let me know if you want me to show you a wash and go routine using these products, because I know when I transitioned from that permed chemical hair to my natural hair, I looked at a lot of videos. When I say a lot of videos, I looked at a lot of YouTube videos on how people was taking care of their hair naturally, because in the beauty world around where I live and what I was hearing, a lot of the barbers and things was not trained to do natural hair. They was doing all the chemical stuff, but they wasn't really trained to take care of my type of hair. With that being said, I had to learn it on my own. So this brand, Camille Rose, has been a brand I know up whenever I remember taking notice of them whenever I was transitioning to my natural hair, but I never did want to fork out the money on it because, like I said, it is an expensive brand to me. But I got all these on sale, so we're going to see what I think about this one. This is a Camille Rose. It says the recipe for beauty guava slip, whipped souffle styler. So that's what this one is. So this is a styler. The other one was the cleansing rinse. This is aloe whipped butter gel. So I got this as well. And this one says a silky, soft, buttery gel with nourishing fruit botanicals, crafted to provide moisture and light styling hold. So this is supposed to provide a light hold. And then the last thing I got was this curl maker. It says marshmallow and agave leaf extract, a sweet defining jelly enriched with smoothie marshmallow and guava extracts. So got that as well. I had another product that came in that box, but it leaked. So, and now when it leaked completely out, but it was one that was like a honey jar looking thing. But this item leaked all over the box, so they did not have it sealed very well, whoever packed it. But it was a honey hydrate leave-in leave-in conditioner. It says it's a golden honey syrup crafted to provide maximum hair hydration. So I may pick that up in a future time just to see what I think of that product as well. But I don't have it now because it did not survive the shipping. With that being said, that is all the hair items that I picked up from that sale. And then I picked up a couple of perfume type items. So the other item that I got was from Sol de Janeiro. I like to get these sets, you guys, because I love these minis and these. And this year they have it like a little box instead of the little... Last year it was like half of this box was what the set was. But this time they have it like this. And this one has 62, 71, 40, 48, 68, and 76. Okay, so it comes out like this, and they have them all sitting like this. So nice set. They all got their little spot. You actually can just sit this on your counter just like that. And they already have their little space, and you don't got to worry about them falling over or nothing. So that's pretty nice. But these are all the mini sizes. It is 6 1 fluid ounce or 30 ml sizes. So that is this. And that set came with this little bag here. I think this is very festive looking bag. I think that's very cute. And they have a mini of the Brazilian Bum Bum cream in here. And it looks like the oil. Yeah, it's the oil. So they have this and this inside the bag, and that came as a set with the purchase. The other thing I got was I broke down and got the Eilish by Billie Eilish. They had this where you can get it on a good deal, so I got this as well. So I never got this perfume before, so I decided to break down and get it finally. They had a good deal on it, so I said, why not? I know this is very popular. A lot of brands have duped this fragrance, so I will be doing a comparison to see how well they came close to it. But this is the Billie Eilish perfume. And with this Billie Eilish perfume also came another little gift with purchase. They gave you this little quilted looking bag here, which was cute. Nice little plush looking bag. And the other thing I got, oh, I forgot to say, I got me a bigger size of the number 40 from Sol de Janeiro. So, and then the other thing I got, you guys, is the new perfume from Paris Hilton, her iconic fragrance. I will be doing a wear test with this to see what I think of this, because this is her new fragrance and it is being advertised very well. So I'm curious what the hype is about, and we're going to see. We're going to see what the hype is about. But this also came with, as a free gift with purchase, it gave you this metallic bag that is kind of similar to the vibes that this perfume box is giving you. So that came with this. So that is everything I picked up from Ulta during that that week of sale and the 40% off sale that they have been doing. And tell me, are you guys going to take advantage of any of those items? Because they're doing select fragrances and makeup and different things that they're doing the 40% off on. And if you're eyeballing that, or if you're thinking about gifting that to anyone, this is a good opportunity to pick those up. When you can get it 40% off, that is a steal, in addition to the coupon that they was giving, where you can get the, what I was telling you, the 15 off of 75 or the 20 off of 100. Very good deal. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.